I Got the Hell Out does contain explicit content that might not be suitable for some listeners, such as children, those that easily get offended, and we do recommend that listeners at work put your earbuds in if you have coworkers around.
And if you like the show, please spread the word by telling as many people as you can. Would also appreciate if you would subscribe, rate, hopefully with 5 stars, and review the podcast on iTunes. You can find us there as well as on Stitcher and Overcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Was In A Cult, on Facebook at I Got The Hell Out, and on Instagram at I Got The Hell Out with an underscore after each word. You can contact us through our website at IGotTheHellOut.com.
Hi guys,
Hi, I'm Laura.
and this is Debbie.
And this is
I Got the Hell Out.
Who's going first this week?
I don't know, but I do know this is our 20th episode.
Yay!
That really excites me.
I know. Did you ever think we'd get to 20?
In 5 months? No, I didn't think anybody would listen to us at all.
I know. No shit. I
just thought, okay, well, if somebody was so interested in cult stuff, they'd probably go join a cult.
The fact that we actually have listeners is actually just blowing my mind. So thank you.
Thank you
guys.
all. Thank you all. What I do have, Dana, she gave us a link to the Hulk and Thor's hammer on whether or not the Hulk would be able to pick it up. There's several instances where one's a dream.
From last episode.
Yeah, one's a dream sequence, another one, Thor's hammer lost its power. So there were instances he could pick it up. It had a whole bunch of interesting stuff. And she has very lovely rabbits. I'm sure they're not assholes. She did post pictures of those.
Oh, so you're saying that all rabbits are not assholes?
Well, I'm assuming if you have a pet rabbit,
Oh, okay, then that one's not an asshole.
Well, my neighbor
It's just wild rabbits then.
Well, Marie had a rabbit and she let it go because it was eating her carpet and it was eating her cords. And she told me that, yes, all rabbits are assholes. So... And I asked, a few people gave me some more words that we were not allowed to say.
Oh, and I have a few, too, that I found from the children's book. So let's see.
The word lucky.
Okay.
The word oops, O-O-P-S, and I have I don't know. Fortune and enthusiastic. You could not be enthusiastic because that meant you were possessed by gods.
That's what it says in here.
No way.
It does.
Somebody reminded me of that. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with enthusiastic? And she meant you were possessed by the gods. And she couldn't remember what word we were supposed to use in place of it.
I can tell you.
Really?
I can tell you. Words to use instead. Excited, joyful, or zealous.
Oh, you could be zealous.
Could you imagine? I am so zealous about this.
I'm telling you, I've tried to block so much of this stuff out.
Okay, do you want to hear a few more words?
Sure.
Chance.
Yes.
So, a force assumed to cause events that cannot be foreseen or controlled.
Right, so it's like sorcery and witchcraft stuff.
Bingo. Charm.
Yeah, because that goes along wizardry and stuff like that.
Yep. Like an object has a magical power.
You're bringing this all back into my head. Thank you very much.
Well, this is a cult podcast about you're living in a cult, so...
I've tried to block it out for so long.
Then why are we here?
The floodgates are opening.
Okay. Another word, divine.
Yeah, because that means from another god or something.
Like a godlike creature.
Yep.
Fate or destiny.
Yeah, because those things are supposed to be predetermined and we have free will and can change at any time.
And blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Genius.
I think that comes from genus. It's a god. It's supposed to be the all-knowing god or something.
It says the guardian deity or the spirit of a person. So it's like a guardian angel type
I don't know.
thing, which doesn't make any sense. But anyhow...
Grace?
Did you say grace?
No, I didn't say that one.
And then 2 more.
Oh, yeah, they would make fun of people because they would say, you can only come to God through the grace of blah, 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 blah. They just make fun of all the other religions.
Oh, well, because theirs wasn't batshit crazy, right?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, my God. Okay, panic, which obviously the god Pan. Yeah. And wish.
Yeah, you couldn't wish because that meant you were praying to other gods and things that might answer you. Like, I thought that was funny. The patron saint of doors and gates
was January.
Yeah,
it was Janus.
Yeah, so you lost the key to your door, so you'd be wishing to find the key to your door. So then you'd actually be praying to Janus in a way. So this is how they explained all this stuff.
If you say so, sure.
To this day, I get the biggest kick out of wishing somebody good luck. I wish you good luck. That's 3 paganisms in a row right there in 4 words. Yes, yes, yes.
And that is all I have for the words.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to give a shout out to Joe DiNardo.
Oh, everyone that is in Pittsburgh knows about Joe DiNardo. It's kind of geeky, but he was a meteorologist. He was like a Pittsburgh icon.
Yeah, but see, I remember Joe from being like 7 or 8 years old.
I'm as old as you. I do too.
But the reason I remember is this big billboard by my grandparents, driving to my grandparents. And it was, all it said across it was, Joe said it would. And the date was for like a week later. And I couldn't understand what it meant. And I asked my mom, and she said that the guy who predicts the weather said that we were supposed to get this big, huge snowstorm. Was that the snowstorm of 77 or 78?
I have no idea.
I'm not looking it up. I don't really care. But it snowed, and we got like 3 feet of snow. And it was the biggest thing for the long time. Joe said it would. So,
right. Well, I remember he would go to different grade schools and talk to them about the weather and meteorology.
He was an all-around great guy.
And it was like a huge deal. If he was coming to your school, man, it was a big deal.
Yes.
So for everybody in Pittsburgh, yeah, it's sad.
I'd like to tell Franny thank you for the Irish Spring trick. She let me know that you get a cheese grater and you take Irish Spring and you can grate it around your flowers and stuff. Keep the asshole rabbits out.
Did it work?
Between that, the 8 snakes in the patch, and the bobblehead owl I have now, I haven't had one that's gotten bit.
Nice.
So, but I ate all the strawberries today, so I didn't have any for you. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm really sorry. And my son told me that he used to force himself to say all of these words that we just went over.
So he could like fit back into society?
So he could feel normal at school and in society, because when your friend goes up to you and go, "Oh, I'm so joyous."
Right, yeah, like what the hell's that?
You're the kid instantly everybody hates because what occurred?
Yeah, what a weirdo.
Yeah, what a weirdo. So he distinctly remembers forcing himself to say these words.
Well, good for him.
He's an amazing, wonderful kid. And I told you last week that my most hated day was coming up, which was June 13th.
Right.
But June 21st is that's one of the few things I celebrate, which is the summer solstice. Yay! Because it's the absolute longest day in the year.
Yes.
So happy summer solstice to everybody this week. Cheers a beer.
What's today?
Today's the 16th.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute.
I think it's Thursday.
Okay.
So yeah.
But then the days get shorter.
Yeah, and it makes me sad.
I know.
But then the winter solstice comes, and I celebrate that one because then the days are getting longer.
Right.
So yeah, I mean it is what it is. So
like there's anything we can do about it. So you know.
Okay, you don't have any drinks in your hand, do you?
No, why?
Because we had a very interesting question that I told a listener that I would find the answer out to. And no, the look on your face, I'm kind of worried. Yeah. Well, do you remember back I was telling you that everything had to be salted, and like my ex would open his pack of cigarettes.
Oh, you said he'd put salt in the cigarettes
and this and that and the other thing.
Yeah.
And he'd put gum in his mouth, and he'd just take the
salt
shaker.
You said that. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Okay. Caitlin asked.
Oh no, the look on your face is not good.
Did you have to salt his junk before you serviced him? I spit my coffee across the freaking room when I read that.
Oh my God.
And I actually stopped and had to think about it.
Well, did you?
I couldn't remember. I've tried to block so much of that stuff out.
Oh my God. Oh, what was her name?
Her name was Caitlin, and I think
Caitlin, that is an awesome question.
I think she got to us on Instagram, or did she Twitter us?
I don't even remember. Oh my God, that's so great.
But yeah, I was in hysterics. I almost spit my coffee across the room. And the more I thought about it, I couldn't remember. Because like I said, I've tried to block so much stuff out. Because we're not even getting into freaky bedroom shit, okay?
No, please don't.
But I knew, you really weren't supposed to do your wife anally. Because that scripturally is not okay.
Oh, too much.
You couldn't do that. So yay for the women. We win something.
Something,
yes, you can't go there, or I'm telling my counselor. You know what I mean? but I couldn't remember if oral sex was allowed. And so...
did you ask anybody?
I asked a bunch of people.
What did they say?
And
did you ask if you had to salt it?
I asked Stace, and she almost spit her drink across the room when I asked her.
Who wouldn't?
And because I also asked her if we were allowed to do it, were we allowed to swallow it, or what?
Oh, Jesus, stop.
Anyway, she spit her coffee out, and she's laughing her ass off, and she texts me that women could swallow the sperm. That was okay. Remember, this place was all for the man's enjoyment.
Oh, so yeah, but what about the salt?
Well, then I texted her back, did we have to salt the junk first? And she said, no salting of the junk, no salting of the junk. If that were the case, you'd have to salt before you would kiss or before you would put spit on your fingers to wipe stuff off your kid. So
that would make sense with kissing. Yeah,
you'd have to like dump salt in your mouth every time you wanted to slip somebody the tongue, I guess.
That makes sense. Okay.
But
damn good question. Though.
I never even would have thought to ask that.
Me neither.
And too bad I couldn't have like doused it in salt. You know, I might have burned a bit for him. You know, no offense, gentlemen. No offense.
You're just referring to your ex.
Yeah. And by the way, scrubbing bubbles will give you chemical burns in your eyes.
Okay, so already useless information that
I had chemical burns in my eyes on Friday.
Oh, you're talking about... I thought you were talking about like in the cult somebody like burnt their junk or something.
No. I had chemical burns around my eyes on Friday.
Oh, get out. They look okay.
Well, that happened last Friday. It's been a week.
You didn't tell me that.
Well, I haven't really talked to you all that much. I left here and went to Kim's, and I like clean houses, and so I got all these. I'm doing scrubbing bubbles and showers and bathtubs, and you know I always wash my hands. That's the last thing I do.
Oh, did you rub your eyes?
No, I'm at Kim's and I'm sweating and I'm eating, and of course eating is more important. So I've got a fork in one hand and I've got bread in the other hand. So I used my forearm between my wrist and my elbow to rub my eyes. And about 3 minutes later, my eyes were on fire because apparently the scrubbing bubbles
was on your arm.
Because I'm not a surgeon. I'm not washing all the way up to my elbow.
Damn.
So, and why did I use my forearm? Why couldn't I put the food down? That just kills me.
Because you were hungry.
I don't know.
Priorities.
Priorities. Anyway, a couple of the gentlemen I asked, they don't ever remember their junk being salted or their wife attempting to salt it.
I have a feeling they would remember.
And 3 women that I talked to, they have no recollection of salting anything on the human body.
Okay.
Maybe it's salty enough. We excrete salt.
So it's safe to say that no salting of the junk. No
salting of the junk. So, I think that's all I have for right now. Oh, you know what? This is going to be Father's Day.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
This drops on Father's Day.
It drops on Father's Day, and I'd like to give a shout out to my asshole dad that I hate, okay? His name is Bill.
What are you going to shout out?
Very long ago, he also gave me a box of darkness that I didn't understand. No matter what I did for him.
What?
A box of darkness.
What the hell's that?
Something that it hurts. Why did you do this to me? Why was this like this? It's a box of darkness.
Oh, okay.
But I could never do anything right enough for him. And it finally hit me one day that I would never please this man no matter what I did. So to this day, I do everything that I can to the best of my ability, even like my job, folding towels, anything, especially if I'm doing something for somebody else.
Right.
Because that way, you could tell me that I didn't do a good job. But I know in my own head, I did the absolute best job I could possibly do. I couldn't have done it any better.
Right.
So I will never again feel bad for somebody trying to tell me I didn't do a good job because I did it to the best of my ability.
Right.
Fuck you, asshole Bill.
Alrighty. Well, then I want to wish my dad, who is not an asshole.
No, your dad's very nice.
So, yeah. So tomorrow we're going to go to the nursing home where he lives. I'm going to take him a pizza, which he's looking forward to. So... And he doesn't even know what a podcast is, let alone listen to one. So
I let my 97-year-old grandmother listen to us partway the other day while I took her shopping. She was in hysterics.
Maybe I'll play part of it for my dad, but I don't. He's
play him the Mother's Day episode where we're talking about and we're not swearing.
Yeah, but I don't think he still isn't going to grasp it. I don't think.
Oh,
so we'll just stick with the pizza.
Okay,
and call it a day.
I would like to give a shout out to the good guy I call my dad. His name is also Bill. So my children used to refer to the bad one as truck driver mouth Grandpa Bill because every other word out of his mouth is not nice. And then we got the good Grandpa Bill. So
okay.
And to my mom's, my stepdad, Tony, he died a very long time ago, about 19 years ago, but he was a very good dude also.
Okay, well then, hey, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. And the episode tonight...
Oh, wait, we have a Kool-Aid recipe.
Oh, yeah.
You always forget. That's because you're drinking beer. You don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Well, I sometimes drink the Kool-Aid.
Sometimes. You drink a couple sips, so technically you had the Kool-Aid.
Yes, technically I drank the Kool-Aid.
You drank the Kool-Aid,
yes.
But you have your beer. So what we have, it's called green vodka. So it is 2 ounces of vodka, 6 ounces of lemon lime Kool-Aid, and 4 ounces of 7-Up.
Alrighty.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I personally wouldn't make it, but if you made it, I'm drinking it.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think? Did you like it?
It was okay. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's not something I would make at home for myself.
It's
I
not
like
your
beer.
It's not your beer.
I like beer.
Okay.
So.
All right. Are we ready to move on?
I think we are.
Okay.
Tonight's is our 20th episode, and the topic comes to us from a listener named Amber. She suggested it. She wanted to hear about our trip to Israel.
Okay.
And
so what was the purpose of the trip?
I've mentioned this before that I've gone to Israel. We had to spot the green ears of barley on Mount Zion in order to set the feast date. That would be the Passover.
Okay. And they're in this children's book. I keep wanting to call it a kid book, but that's pagan, right?
That would be a goat's book. And a goat would eat the book. It wouldn't read it.
They're saying something about how God pointed out the new moon to Moses.
Yes.
And everything is based upon the 7 ordained moons. And it says, when the barley is on the green ears on Mount Zion in Jerusalem, the following new moon is the moon of green ears.
Yes.
Which means absolutely nothing to me.
It means we had to fly our butts over to Israel, climb up to Mount Zion, and actually pick green ears of barley on Mount Zion.
Okay, well, here's a question. Is that the only place it grows?
No.
But it had to be from Jerusalem.
Well, that's where the Bible was written. That's
okay, so it had to be like there. Where Moses was from.
Right. Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he wandered the desert.
Gotcha.
Somebody wandered the desert. But yeah, you have to go and spot the green ears of barley.
Okay. So now, did you volunteer to go or were you picked?
Well, see, that's funny because we got asked to go with them big quotes.
Were you, like, quote, asked?
Right, because like I said, Kenny had a really good job and he made a lot of money.
So you had to pay your own way?
It is not cheap.
So wait, so you had to pay your own way?
Yes. The cult did not pay for anything.
Okay, so this majorly important thing that needs to be done,
yes,
you had to pay for it yourself.
Well, it was considered an honor to be picked.
Okay, that was like my next question kind of was like, what made you think this was a good idea?
Well,
was it because of the honor?
Well, no, because, I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to fill my passport full of stamps, and, I mean, it's a big world. I wanted to see as much as I could.
You were just kind of like, cool, out of the country trip.
Yeah, well, you know, I went to see the Freaks in the Mudhole Commune, and look how that turned out, and here I am, you know, yeah, let's go to Israel. You know, what could happen there, you know? So.
Okay, so you're on the plane. Did you, like, hand out cult propaganda on the plane? Did you, like, leave stuff in the bathroom?
No, I refused to do that, and I don't know if he did or not, and my mom definitely wasn't down for that. She went with us, too.
Oh, I was just going to ask you, what about the poor person sitting next to you? Did you, like, ramble on about the cult?
Oh, gosh, no. No. The cult was not mentioned or anything. I think he had to call into the big man a couple of times, like to say, we found it. And you know, and Kenny's like, yeah, you can imagine them all cheering this Sabbath.
The green ears, the green ears of the barley.
You know, the only wedding that I was ever asked to be in there, I had to miss because it was 2 days after I left to go to Israel.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, I think the only reason I was asked is because I fit into the dress. Because the next person that they asked was like my size, and she was kind of wondering, why am I in this wedding?
Oh my God. It's like the Brady Bunch episode. Remember that one?
I know.
It was like he got picked to sing because the jacket fit him.
Okay.
It was like the same thing. It's like the only reason they picked him is because the jacket fit.
I think that's the only reason they picked me. I mean, I knew this family and I liked them. I didn't hang out with the mom. The daughter was 15 years younger than me. So... Anyway.
Okay, so you get off the plane, you're like at customs, and you know how they normally...
No, we went to Amsterdam first.
Okay, well, but like when you go to a different country, they normally ask like, what is the purpose of your trip?
Vacation.
What did you tell? You told them vacation?
Sightseeing.
Okay, so that's like all you said.
Yeah, but Amsterdam, I have to tell you a little bit about, because we had a layover.
Okay. We
had an 8 or 9 hour layover in Amsterdam. So we go through customs. And by cab, it's only 45 minutes into Amsterdam.
Okay.
So we did the canal tour. My mother had no idea what a red light district was. We walked her.
Hello.
We walked her into the beginning of the red light district.
Oh no.
And she turns to look at this because she's admiring the architecture and flowers.
Oh, just wait. Just wait.
And she turns around and she looks at this house and she goes, "Oh my! Why are there 2 naked women dancing in those windows?" And it was like a store.
Well,
it was a glass storefront on either side of the opening of the door, and they were 2 completely naked women with just pasties on their nipples.
That's what you do in the red light district.
And they're just walking around on their perspective poles, and
oh my God,
she wouldn't go any further in and stuff. But we did the touristy thing. We went to the Anne Frank house, which was really interesting.
I'm so jealous of that. That's like one of my bucket list things.
I got to go in the attic.
I don't want to hear it.
I got to go in the attic.
My dad went there too one time.
I touched the same walls that she touched.
Shut up.
It was so cool. Not that she's dead and what happened to her. I know what you mean,
just the historical aspect of it.
I was standing in the same cosmic space that this girl took.
I got the chills. I mean, that blows my mind. Like, that's...
Anyway,
I hate you.
I kept really trying to ditch Kenny and my mom because they have coffee houses there. And they don't serve coffee there.
Wait, what?
Amsterdam.
They don't serve coffee?
Not at the coffee house.
What do they serve? Lots of other good stuff.
The wacky tobacco.
Ah,
and it's legal.
Gotcha.
And it's legal.
Gotcha.
And I was like, my gosh, I want to try that, okay? And I could not ditch these people. They, no, you're in a foreign country. We'll all stick together. I'm like, I saw a film shop like 2 blocks back. I'll just catch up with you. Wait in line.
Now, is it because the cult didn't do drugs?
Right.
Or is that what it was?
It was sorcery, okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah, doing drugs was sorcery because
it alters your mind or something?
It alters your mind.
Okay.
Well, I couldn't get away from them, you know. Anyway, got a lot of good pictures, a lot of good memories. And then we got to Jerusalem. And that's where we met Jaime, okay?
Who?
Jaime.
Who's that?
Jaime was the cab driver who was doing like 115 miles an hour at like 2:45 in the morning, and I'm in the back seat thinking I'm gonna die.
Nice.
If you want to see a picture of Jaime,
oh, that's the one in the picture.
The Pittsburgh paper did a piece on us.
City paper.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh City paper did a piece on us. And that's me and the cab driver just as we're arriving in Israel.
Yeah, if you go onto Twitter, onto our account, it's the pinned article that's pinned, and it has a link, and you can click right on it, and it takes you to the article, and there's the picture.
I still have his phone number. He told us to call him anytime we need a
ride.
Maybe
we should post the phone number.
Oh, gosh, that was... Ooh, that would have been, let's see, 2000 or
like 20 years ago.
2001, so it would have been 17 years ago. I don't think he has the same. He probably isn't alive anymore.
Oh my gosh. So where did you guys stay? Did you stay at a hotel or some kind of little like commune thing? Like
yeah, we had cult members there. The cult members there could have spotted the green ears, don't you think? That'd have been much easier.
I don't know what you freaky people do. Okay, so don't act like it's a strange question. Because here you are talking about Sultan Guy's junk, okay? So
that was a listener question.
So don't give me that look.
Well, your question, I believe, just now was, where did we stay?
Yeah.
Just like... anywhere else, like I guess you got Airbnb now or whatever that is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But they own their own travel company, okay?
Of course they do.
Well, two of the women that were his owned a travel. I think it was a money laundering pit. Okay. Pretty sure looking back, it was, yeah. But they had access. It was kind of like a timeshare. People owned a building, like an apartment building.
Oh, okay.
But all they did was rent it out to tourists you booked just like a hotel room, but it wasn't a hotel. It would be like if your house, the way your house is, you could have 3 apartments here.
Right.
And somebody from Germany's coming and they're getting your 2nd floor.
Okay.
So that's where we stayed.
Now, did the cult, the people that went every year, did they stay at the same place?
Well, it wasn't the same people every year.
Right, but what I'm saying though is, do you know if like the different people that went every year, did they stay at the same place?
We had our choice because we were paying for it.
Oh, that's right.
So we weren't just given accommodations and given tickets.
Got you.
And we even had to like find our own good airfare deal type thing. So,
man, what a racket.
It was still a good trip. I loved it.
Oh, I don't doubt it for a second. I don't doubt it for a second.
Still a good trip. I loved every minute of it. Gonna post a picture of it later after this drops. The Israeli army, when you turn 18, you're required to do a 2-year stint with them. I don't know if it's the day you turn 18 or when you graduate, but you're required to do 2 years with them. And you
men and women?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the women walk around with their hairs up in buns. They have their uniforms on, and they're all carrying big guns. I'm not going to say what they were because I'm not going to say it was an AK-47 if it wasn't.
Right.
But it was some kind of military gun. And when you get fresh off the plane, the dude's like driving 120 miles an hour. You're thinking you're going to die, and he screeches up in front of... He had trouble finding the place to begin with, of course.
Oh, please don't tell me there was like an armed guard out front.
No, but it was still... Those people party all night long, okay? All night long, places are open. And my mom saw all these people walking around with these guns strapped to their backs. And for these people, for these teenagers, it's everyday life. They're not, it's just a fashion accessory.
Right.
They're not going to, I mean, it'd be like the kids around here. Do you really expect it to be used in Oakdale?
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. And the next day we start walking around. We're getting a bright early start. And... their car backfires. Bam, bam, bam. And all of a sudden, my mother literally hit the ground, eyes wide.
Oh, no.
And she's, the look of terror on her face. And me and Kenny are looking at her like, what are you doing? And she goes, shots fired, shots fired. And I go, no, car backfire. And she giggled to herself and got up and wiped her hands off and everything. But yeah, she thought we were going to be the victims of the next drive-by shooting from all these people walking around with all these machine guns.
But it's just, to them, it's just a normal day.
It's a normal, everyday day.
Wow.
And like I said, everywhere we went, it was, and they were all 18, 19, and just turned 20. So you're required for 2 years to serve.
Now, when you got there, was the first thing that you did look for these damn Barley things? Or was that the first thing you did to get it out of the way, kind of? Or what?
I think we did that the first day. That was the get it out of the way.
Get out of the way type thing.
But we also did some sightseeing on the way over there. The camels.
Right. So where'd you put the barley? I mean, obviously it was dead when you brought it back.
Well, it was cut alive.
Right, but I mean...
Kenny bought a poster and slid it into the poster.
No, but I meant like when you... So you got it, would you just like leave it in the hotel room?
Yeah, until we were ready to go. He bought a poster and slid them in there because it comes in the tube with the 2 cap ends.
Right, because you can't bring in flowers or fruit or whatever.
You can't bring anything organic back. So, and those were turned into the cult people when we got back as proof of the sighting of the Green Ears of Barley.
I cannot believe a whole trip just for some damn pieces of barley.
Yes.
That is unbelievable.
Oh, and I kept joking. And see, Kenny went the next year. And I'm not sure who he went with. But I was no longer welcome to go. Because I kept joking that I was an honorary elder. And the bitch that I love to hate, I was telling my friends, yeah, I got a higher spot than she does. I'm a honorary elder because I personally went to spot the green ears of barley on Mount Zion.
And she didn't.
It says in the scriptures that 2 elders must go to spot the green ears of barley on Mount Zion. It doesn't say just 2 people. It's supposed to be 2 elders. And so they can... The leader has the ability to change things.
Oh, of course. Like, whatever benefits him.
Like, he probably couldn't get 2 elders to pay to go. And he's not going to pay to have 2 elders go.
Gotcha.
And it probably never was pointed out to him that it should probably be 2 men. But yeah, I never let that...
Even if it was, he probably didn't give a shit. He was probably like, yeah, I got these 2 people to pay for it. They're going.
Well, I wasn't allowed to go the next year. Because
Why?
I think Kenny took his dad and paid for his dad to go.
So he went again.
So, yes, Kenny went the next year, and I think he took his dad because his dad's an elder. So here we go with, we can bend the rules a bit. Now we're sending 2 men. We have at least 1 elder and an elder's son.
But I guarantee you the next year, if Kenny didn't want to go, they would pick, it could be 2 women that were willing to pay. They'd be like, oh, sure, yeah, the rules have changed.
No, because...
even if they were willing to pay.
Yeah.
What if they were the only ones willing to pay?
I don't know. You got a congregation of, like 2,500 people. I'm sure somebody's going to step up. Seriously.
Playing devil's advocate here.
It's considered an honor to be picked to go.
Honor.
And we did have, like I said, we had a couple pediatricians, a couple doctors. So there were people that made money. But, us living there, it was just real easy to just... And plus, Kenny was always a kiss ass. He always wanted to be an elder. So, of course, I don't know if he was asked or if he volunteered or if he said something to his dad and his dad said something, to the big guy. I don't know how that came about. I just know we spent a lot of money.
So what was like the trek up this hill like? Was it just like this wild hill or were there steps? Like
there were steps. I'll post a picture.
So people could walk up there. It wasn't like you were in some like crazy ass hill with weeds and stuff. I mean, it was kind of civilized, I guess.
Well, everything over there that's like the old city and the places to visit, you can still see the olive trees that Jesus supposedly planted over there.
Okay.
Moses or somebody, they're however many years old. There's a lot of places to go. We visited the Holocaust Museum. We visited, I can't even remember it all, but we did walk to this Mount Zion, and there's steps that go to the top of it. It's not like straight up steps. It's like an ornate, big concrete.
It wasn't like you were like crawling up on your hands and knees up some hill. There were actual steps that other people could go.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when you got to the top of Mount Zion, there was something to look at. And then there's the graveyard where
like a sign says like Kodak moment right here?
It should, but it doesn't.
You know what I'm talking about, those signs?
Well, I'm going to, when I do post pictures, I got a lot of pictures to post this week on Facebook.
Oh, good.
And I learned how to use like the editing stuff, and like I could take something out, I can scribble his nasty face off because he's in one of the pictures with me.
Scribble away, my friend.
That's my ex. So yeah. And then I can make arrows to point stuff out.
What app are you using?
I don't know. It's whatever's on Facebook. And you pull the picture up and it asks, do you want to edit it? And I go, well, hell yeah. And it crops it.
See, I don't really do that. I don't do that on Facebook.
No, I'm in charge of Facebook because it's the only thing I am technically able to do, honestly.
But I mean, like, even for my blog or anything, I didn't even know that was an option. Learn something new every day.
I put sparkles around
I saw that the other day. And I was like, whoa, she's getting fancy.
I got fancy. It's just for one thing. I wanted to see if anybody noticed you. You didn't even say anything to me.
You know what? I did notice it, though.
Did you now?
I did.
Oh, guys, we really need to do another question and answer from the listeners. So please send us stuff like on Facebook or
Twitter,
Instagram, wherever,
anything.
And we'll get a list compiled. We got a lot of topics, but sometimes the things that you guys ask are just far more interesting. Thank you so much, Caitlin. You made like 5 people spit their drinks.
Or even just if you have an idea for a topic.
That too.
Yeah.
That too. I've already told the story about me and my mother almost getting kidnapped. That's in another episode if people are listening backwards. I saw all of these guys naked in the spa at the Dead Sea.
But I want you to tell the camel story again, because I absolutely love that.
Okay.
Just a condensed version.
Well, we were warned about a bunch of stuff. Like, don't go into the old sections of the city that are not well lit, or there's no tourists or stuff, because you'll end up getting mugged, or they'll sell you into white slavery, whatever, okay? And one of the things we were warned was that when you're walking around, there's going to be these guys with camels, and they're always on cobblestone. And, oh, come take your picture. Come take your picture. You get on camel. Free, get on camel.
So tourists are like, oh, sweet. I'm going to get on a camel, take a picture.
Well, your husband's going to take a picture, whoever.
Right, but I mean, you're like, oh, it's a perfect tourist
thing. And you think, oh, this guy's being so nice, letting me sit on your camel. Well, yeah, they let you sit on the camel for free, but then they charge you $5, $10, $20 to make the camel kneel again.
Otherwise, you're just stuck up on the damn camel all day.
We watched some guy up top sitting on a camel, and his wife's going, well, get him down. And the guy going, $15.
That is genius.
And when you're sitting on a camel, you're like 15 feet in the air on a cobblestone road.
So you aren't jumping off.
You're not jumping unless you want a couple broke legs, twisted ankles, or whatnot.
That's kind of genius on their part, though.
Well, I had dinner with my mom tonight, and she told me a friend of hers just got back from there. And apparently that has been a big problem for a lot of years, because now they don't do that.
But the camel shysters.
The camel shysters don't do that anymore. They have little signs, and they're in competition with the camel next to them. And she said it's funny. I'll have to get a picture off my mom.
Oh my God.
They keep crossing out what the price is and going lower than the camel next to them. So
that is...
you got camel price wars going, okay?
Oh my God.
Yes. And I asked my mom what one of the most memorable things that happened while we were there. We were exploring the Temple Mount, the Dome of the Rock and the Temple Mount.
Okay, that's where
the Wailing Wall is.
Where Dome of the Rock?
The Dome of the Rock, the Wailing Wall. There's a whole bunch of holy things.
All in one area?
Right.
Okay.
All in one area. And my mom wanted to go check out this temple thing that you had to put like a scarfy thing on and cover up your hair, and because they got different religions all practicing in pretty much the same area. Well, she wanted to go look at this thing, and I had no interest. And I'm like, ooh, look, they're doing something over there. Me and Kenny's going to go over here, okay? So we go, it's a footpath, and it has cobblestone, so it's obviously a path. It looks almost like a botanical garden set up, almost, okay?
Drink that beer.
I gotta keep my lips moist, okay? Anyway, they're excavating something. And I got the camcorder, and I'm just trying to see what the heck they're excavating and stuff. All of a sudden, these 4 guys with really big-looking, bad-looking guns, speaking a foreign language, surround me and my ex.
Oh, shit.
And this is a literal, you're shitting yourself. I'm in a foreign country, and I'm surrounded by men with machine guns. What the fuck did I do?
Right.
At this point, I look around, and my mom is probably 50 feet away walking towards us. And the look on her face was just like, I leave you alone for 5 minutes. What kind of trouble you in now? Well, these guys are talking in a foreign language, and they keep trying to get my camcorder. Yeah, back in the days of camcorders.
The huge...
No, it was
a smaller one.
We went out and bought...
But the kinds you have the little tapes that you put in there.
Yes, but I actually went out and bought the little handheld one. Ooh. Well, the guy kept pointing at my camcorder and trying to, like, mime to give it to him, and I'm like... And here's stupid
Meanwhile,
me.
I was like, hell no, I just bought it.
Here's stupid me, because we're almost done with our trip. Every minute of my trip is on this. It's not like the first day. And I'm holding it to me, and I'm going, no. And the guy's, like, getting in my face, trying to get it. And at this point, some other guy walks over who spoke English. And he says, what are you doing? In some thick accent.
Right.
And I'm like, we're on vacation. You cannot film here. I said, I didn't know that. There's no signs. He says, I need to confiscate the tape. And I'm like, no, my whole vacation's on there.
Right.
And I'm like, that adrenaline rush that's making you shake.
Right.
Do you see what I'm doing and nobody else can see me?
I have no comment.
Anyway, he's yelling that we're not supposed to be taping and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I'll erase it. Well, I hit rewind and da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, hold on. And I kept looking at the tape. Hold on. And after about 3-4 minutes, I couldn't imagine we had taped all that much.
Right.
So I hit record and I said, look, it's recording over it. Look. And he looked through it and the little red dot's universal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's looking at the ground, looking at me. Well, he carries this camcorder over to this table. He told us, you stay there. And he left a guy with a machine gun with us.
Damn.
And I need somebody to translate this thing because he carried our camcorder over and set it on the table. And it was either 3 or 4 of them are having this lively discussion, I guess, what to do about us, the tape, the camcorder.
You know what? They were probably just going like, you think we fucked with them long enough?
They could have.
They were probably just doing it to
I was shitting myself.
That's probably why they did it. It probably had nothing to do. There's probably like...
Looking back, though, we were pretty far off of where all of the other tourists were. Like, I don't know if we were allowed in this botanical garden. I mean, there were no chains saying don't go that way.
Right.
Anyway, after about 5-10 minutes, he brings it back to us and goes, now go. And we were more than happy to scoot on out of there.
With your camcorder.
With my camcorder. And my mom is like, I leave you alone for 5 minutes. What the hell were you doing? And she doesn't ever swear,
Right.
Well, we get back to where we're staying that night, and I'm going, I wonder. And in my haste, I fast forwarded that tape. So when he rewound it...
Oh. So you still had...
I still have the footage of what I taped. And I would love for somebody, like an archaeologist, or I don't know if they were speaking Arabic. What do they speak over there? I don't even know.
I don't know.
But
it's probably a lot of different languages.
I wonder if we could go to Pitt or Penn State or something and have somebody translate it.
I'm sure somebody at Pitt could.
We should make that like a side trip someday.
Yeah, and it'll probably be like, this is what they're saying. It's probably like, hey, Fred, come on, let's see if we can really scare these tourists.
Yeah, pretty much. I was very scared I was going to end up in a foreign prison. Do you know that?
Oh, my God.
I'm sweating and need to pee.
Oh, my God.
So hit pause.
Are we taking a break?
We're taking a break.
Okay.
I'll be right back, guys. And a lot of them were Hasidic Jews. That's the old-time Jewish people that follow the Old Testament and don't believe the New Testament ever happened.
Well, that's all Jews, though.
No. There's Jews for Jesus. Haven't you ever heard of them?
I guess I have.
Anyway, the Hasidic Jews they don't cut their hair.
Oh, they have those curly...
The big, long, curly things
right.
in the top hat.
Yes.
And even some of the older Jewish men, we went into a souvenir shop, and my mom's buying something, and she handed the guy the money, and she put her hand out for the change, and he looked right at her and he slapped it on the counter because
he was not allowed to touch her.
He didn't want to come in contact with her because she might be a nasty menstruating woman.
Oh God, here we go again.
Okay. And in another shop, my mother wanted to buy... She had like 30 people she was buying souvenirs for.
What, like I went to Israel and all you got was this shitty t-shirt or something?
No, she actually got these really cool... I'm not even going to describe it. But we're in this shop, and my mother keeps trying to talk to this shopkeeper. And he keeps ignoring her. And he finally turns to Kenny and starts dealing with Kenny. So my mother had to broker the deal for what she wanted for 30 of this souvenir.
Right.
Through my husband because the shopkeeper would not speak to her because she was a woman.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, that was a wow.
Wow. Screw that. I wouldn't give him my money.
Well, it was what she wanted, and he had all 30 of them, so...
Oh, my God. So wait, why was your mom allowed to go on the trip if she wasn't in the cult?
Because she paid for it by herself. You can't stop her from going.
Oh, okay.
Plus, on Kenny's end, she paid half of the hotel.
Gotcha. Hey, bring her along then.
She's always wanted to go. She's religious. Hi,
well,
Mom,
no. I didn't mean that. I meant like on the cult's end. Like, were they okay with it? Is what I.
Well, they weren't paying for it, so why would they care?
Give a shit.
Why would they care?
Okay.
And let me tell you, no offense, but flying back when we got on the airplane, these 3 Hasidic Jewish men sat in front of us, and I don't think they use soap. I'm not even sure if they bathe.
And they're worried about the unclean women.
I don't know, but the smell was so bad that all 3 of us instantly were getting nauseous and starting to gag.
Oh, dear God.
And we actually got moved to different seats in the plane.
No.
Yes.
What did you say? These men stink?
Well, we told the stewardess, I'm like, we can't sit there. We'll throw up. Can you imagine 8 hours of smelling that?
I can't.
It smelled like a dead person. I mean, it was...
That is so gross.
Bad. It was the worst body smell, and it was all 3 of them.
I would have been like, you know what? Put me underneath with the cargo. Like with the dogs and stuff and the suitcases. Put me under there.
Well, I think it was either an 8 or an 11-hour flight back to... No, because we went back to Amsterdam. It was a however many hour flight to Amsterdam. And
Did your mom go back to the red light district?
No, because it was only like a 4.5 hour layover.
Oh, okay.
And it was an exhausting whirlwind trip. So my mom and Kenny decide that they're going to nap in the lounge right there while you're waiting for the plane. And all I could think of was, man, Amsterdam's only 45 minutes away. I bet I can get to a coffee house. I won't have time.
Because I want some coffee, wink, wink.
I won't have time to try anything, but I'll just buy a little nugget of something and I'll stash it in my shoe under my toes.
Oh my God, you're insane.
I wasn't thinking, okay?
Oh, you're insane.
Well, I'm figuring I'm getting on a plane and coming to America. What's the worst going to happen to me, okay?
Oh my God.
So... and it's taken me an hour and a half to work myself up to, I can do this, let's go. And it's an international airport in Amsterdam, and like these 757 Airbus, whatever they are.
Right.
300-400 people are pouring into the customs area. And I went,
oh, screw it.
Oh, sadly, I'm not going to be able to go because by the time I get through customs, if I don't make my plane, I'm screwed.
Right.
I'm screwed. So I'm on the plane, bummed on the way back. And, well, if you've ever flown in from Amsterdam, I think we pulled into Chicago or Milwaukee. I'm not sure which one. But, yeah, you fly on into the airport and you don't go anywhere. You sit in the middle of the runway. And they bring out a set of stairs that is wheeled to the plane. And when you come down the steps of the plane, you're on the tarmac. And there's a 6-foot wide, very, very obvious yellow stripes that you are to stay within this rectangle. And there's a guy with a gun here. And then 6 foot down on the other side, a guy with a gun there, like army people.
Oh, damn.
All the way to this little terminal that's probably 3 times the size of the room we're in. And it has this itty bitty little baggage claim thing. It's like almost miniature. It's almost comical. And we're all standing inside this room in the middle of the tarmac. And in come 5 guys with 5 drug dogs. And,
you would have been screwed.
I was shitting my pants going, oh my God, I was only going to bring back a little nugget to share with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. That was going to be my souvenir from them from my trip. And yeah, I would have been so busted.
God. But they didn't smell the barley, though.
No, I don't think they were trained to find barley. No, but I do remember this young 20-ish couple.
Oh, my God.
The dogs kept hitting on their luggage.
Oh, man.
And they are you could tell they were still stoned and drunk.
Oh, get out.
And they are in hysteric laughter, falling all over each other. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They knew that they had nothing in their luggage. They had just smoked so damn much of it in their hotel room over the weekend that their luggage and their clothes just reeked
of it.
Reeked.
Oh, my God.
But the guy kept going, we didn't bring nothing back. It just stinks like dope, man.
Oh, my.
And I don't know if they got detained, if they went through their stuff, but yeah, It was pretty comical to watch.
Funny.
And all I kept thinking was, that dog could have been sniffing my big toe. He's sniffing my big toe. And here I am going to jail for, $10 worth of whatever. And
oh, my God.
On the upstroke, though, my mother was getting shipped back to Pittsburgh, and we were going back to the state the cult was in. So whatever airport we were in, we said goodbye, and she left. Well, it came up time for our plane, and they had either overbooked it or it cost too much, or it weighed too much.
Oh, okay.
So they were asking people to voluntarily step down. Well, of course, nobody wants to voluntarily step down.
Right, because that's a pain in the ass.
So then they were offering a voluntarily wait for the next plane and we'll upgrade you to first class. Well, of course, nobody took that either. Make a really long story short, they got down to where they needed 2 more people to step down. And they were up to offering $600 credit for each ticket. Like, they were going to give you $1,200 free flying anytime you went anywhere. And me and him looked at each other and said, well, it's only 4 hours. The bar's right down here, because you're in an airport. There's always a bar. Right. So $618 tickets a piece. We got $600 each back.
Nice.
So it only cost us $18 a piece to fly there and back.
Nice.
Ain't that nice? $9.
That is amazing.
Each way.
So where'd you go with the ticket?
With the other tickets, I don't remember how. I think we used those for when my kids would fly up to visit their grandma in the summer.
Oh, okay. That's awesome though, free tickets.
Yeah, Kenny allowed for them to, because my mother would promise to feed them turkey bacon and do things right. And
the
blah,
kosher
blah, blah.
rules and whatever.
But yeah, so I guess we used that money for a couple years to fly them back and forth.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah. But that's my trip to Israel in a whirlwind.
So. You got anything else that you can think of right off the top of your head?
I mean, there were Bedouin people. I visited all kinds of nifty Masada and the Dead Sea. It just, if you get the chance.
It's Dead Sea. Isn't that where you float?
Yes. And I actually have a bottle of Dead Sea water at home. If you ever come to my house, Laura, I'll let you taste it. It's
and I can see the asshole rabbits.
No, because they're gone. I think the owl scared them all away. So, yes. Thank you, Bobblehead Owl.
Oh.
But I guess that's all that I've got for today.
Okay. What I have is our promo for this week. You know how we do one every week?
Yes.
This one is for a podcast called Trace Evidence. It is a weekly true crime podcast. Yay. Focused on unsolved murders and disappearances.
Okay.
Very cool.
Do they do anything in Pittsburgh?
I don't know.
We should invite them.
We should.
I have 2 extra bedrooms. You have like 3 extra bedrooms.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And then they'd murder us in the middle of the night. And then they can make us part of their podcast.
That's right. And then they could be like recreated on one of those like investigation
Discovery
channels, whatever.
Yeah, but then our podcast would be dead because we'd be dead.
Oh, for God's sake. I think we're done. I think we are done. But yeah, guys, listen to the promo for Trace Evidence, and they are also on Twitter at Trace EV Pod. So give them a listen. They are really good. It's a really good episode, really good podcast.
Oh, by the way, over in Israel, scripturally, they live by the scriptural laws, and we ate lemons out of somebody's yard. You can eat as many lemons as you want, but you cannot take any with you.
So you can eat as much as you want in their yard.
Yes.
You just can't take it with you.
You can't take any with you.
So you could sit there all day long
and eat lemons.
Oh my God.
Yes. It's a beggar's law.
That is nuts.
It is. We ate lemons out of somebody's friggin' yard.
That is nuts. So it's like anything. If they had any kind of like, say if they had like some kind of like
oranges,
right?
Grapefruits.
You could just sit there all day long.
Yeah. Fruit trees. Oh, you can't go digging up their garden. But like fruit trees,
but
you have to let the stranger eat from your fruit tree.
Yeah,
but they are not allowed to take any with them. You're helping to feed the hungry stranger.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But see, the hungry stranger, he's not gonna, and see that benefits him because he's not hungry anymore. Whether it's an apple, pear,
right.
whatever. But that also makes it so he can't fill an entire backpack full of apples and go sell them to other people for a buck a piece.
True.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But we did. We stood in somebody's yard and ate their lemons. We couldn't find any better fruit than lemons. So.
But I'm sure a fresh lemon was pretty good.
It was quite puckery.
Puckery.
It was quite puckery. And I think we shared one lemon between the 3 of us because it was pretty much the size of a softball. So.
Damn.
Yeah. And then we left. So that's the story of the lemons.
And your trip to Israel.
Yep.
All right.
Remember, guys, if you're in a bad place, someday we hope to be able to help everybody get out. We have some exciting news coming up, hopefully, about some things we've got in the works. Until then, even if you have to ask a friend, try and get out of whatever bad situations you're in, guys. Anyway.
Stay safe. Do whatever you need to do to stay safe.
Stay safe. Stay sexy and don't get murdered.
Hey, we can't say that.
Why?
I guess we can. They're not listening to our podcast.
Well, it's a shout out to them anyway.
That's true.
So, and I mean, I don't think they have it copyrighted, do they?
I don't know. But they sure as hell are not listening to this, so.
They might be. You never know.
Trust me, they're not.
All right, I don't know what we're going to pick for 21, but I'm sure we'll come up with something.
We'll come up with something. And also, like Debbie said, topics or questions. Let us know, ask away on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Any kind of topics you think that you would like to hear, or any questions. Maybe we can do, like Debbie said, a listener question episode.
Yes.
So
that would be cool.
Yeah. So any kind of questions you have, just ask away, please.
All right, guys. Till next time, we'll see you on the flip. No, we won't see you. You'll listen to us on the flip side. Why do I always say
I don't know. I do the same thing. I don't know.
I am trying so hard to make my language different when we're doing this and not say certain words and
Oh well.
Oh well.
Talk with you later, guys.
Bye.
Hey, podcast listener. This is Steven, the host of Trace Evidence, a weekly true crime podcast focused on unsolved murders and missing persons. Each week, I dig deep into the evidence, suspects, and theories revolving around the unsolved cases you think you know: Elisa Lam, Aisha Degree, Brandon Lawson, and the ones you've never heard: Lily Aramburo, Candace Hilt, Kanika Powell. If you're a true crime fan, haunted by unanswered questions, join me each Monday for a thorough examination of the victims, their stories, and the unknown perpetrators behind them. Trace Evidence is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, and all your favorite podcatchers. Visit trace-evidence.com for a full list of episodes, transcripts, and to subscribe today.